Hey, Crazy Dave here. I was on Yahoo bruising down as I usually do, and there was an article on the triplets, the dolphin triplets, and I was reading about it, and they said they took, it's a DNA shocker, they took a DNA test to find out who they really were. The reason why it was a shocker was because they're triplets, so they come from the same egg. But when they took it's a DNA test from 23andMe, right? So when they took the test, they were like Irish, they were like 99% European, all of them were, okay? But one of them was more Irish than the other one was more Norwegian than the other one was more British than the other, How could this be true? If the test identified them as the same, they're identical triplets, how could one have more DNA than the other? How is that possible? So I continued reading the article, and it's from the doctors. And so the doctors said you got to be very careful about these tests. And the other one said, well, they're not advanced enough. They should have the exact same DNA because they have the same father and mother all the way through, percentage-wise and everything. So this goes to show you all that these ancestry tests that you take, where you do your swabs, they're not to completely be trusted. Now, the only one I can kind of trust is Ancestry.com because they go off of last names and actual records, or unless you hire a genealogist. See, like in my case, I know all the last names. There's Peak, there's Gerard, there's I know all of them, or not all of them, most of them, so I can trace them back. There's a book on the Peak heritage going all the way up, from passed down from father to son, father to son, father to son. So I'm able to trace all the way back to one of my first ancestors on the Peak side. I know exactly where we come from. Not only based off of DNA evidence. I'm not saying you shouldn't have DNA evidence. I'm saying, all these advertisements, find out exactly who you are, blah, 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 blah. You got to go to, like, a genealogist and have a doctor. Don't just go off of some site that says, all right, just get your DNA, plop it in there, and, you'll find out your results. Because if they were totally accurate, the triplet twins would have the same amount of DNA or Irish as they would Norwegian. I'm just giving examples here. There wouldn't be a disparage in percentages because they're exactly the same. So it doesn't make sense. You can't totally rely on these tests. So unless you have like last name records, or you go to a doctor, or you go to a genealogist, or you go to a specific doctor that can give you a specific test to find out who exactly you really are, where you come from. Don't trust these, 23andMe's and, these public advertising tests that will find out where you come from. Because I have a, family friend who said they took the test and she knew she was, her grandmother or something was Cherokee, and it didn't say that she had Cherokee in her. But yet she is. So, don't completely trust those tests. Alright, this is Crazy Dave. I'm going to sign out. Love you all. Goodbye.